That was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Like, super smooth.
What the fuck, dude?
What?
That's a lot of
You got fucking.
That's a lot of sour stuff.
What, 5, 6? How many
Yeah,
are
I'm
there?
OG Sav.
Sean has taken 5 fucking warheads.
So I was watching the video of our previous one,
Yeah.
and oh, I didn't tell you this. I wanted to text you the next day. The roof of my mouth was like shot.
Oh, dude, I was so fucked up. I didn't have anywhere near as many as.
Oh
you
my
did,
god,
man.
nonstop, and it like burned the
When
roof
we
of
were
my mouth.
done, there was literally like 30 wrappers in front of
they're
him.
white.
Yeah, dude, that's the
you've never
sour,
had-
dude.
I know, that's the sour stuff. Oh, my mouth is tensing up.
Everybody ingest now.
This is stuck to the
Oh,
wrapper.
dude.
know.
I mean,
It's just a little warm.
oh my god.
There it is. All right, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Austin.
I'm Tyler.
I'm from the Broken View.
Oh, wow.
God, it ain't that bad. As everybody's smacking it on mic, fans are gonna hate this intro.
It's like DSMR. Hey, you like that?
Wow.
All right, I'm with it now.
Okay.
All right, so we got the
We gotta limit the food noises in the microphone.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I can't help it.
Hold the smacking, boys. All right, so we got the Broken View back yet again. So the last episode we finished up wrestling conversation.
Yes.
Now it is to my knowledge that Austin is a freak about DC.
I mean, I am.
He is the king of Marvel.
I
Are
don't
you
know, I
DC
see
over Marvel?
He's got a lot
Well,
of
it's
DC.
hard. So, Batman is absolutely my favorite.
I'm just going to take a step back
Yeah.
because I got this in my mouth, just so you know.
And you have no place in this conversation.
That's what she said.
Actually, you're right. You're right. That's why I want to bang this out real quick, and then I can jump back in.
No,
That's also what she said.
I mean, Marvel is just because the movies have been so good for the last fucking 11 years. But Batman, as you can see from my various things planted around the fucking basement here, Batman is my like ride or die number one. But
This chair is slowly bending back, and look, I'm not.
wow, dude, you're too big.
Yeah, thank you.
Switch. I'm smaller than you, so.
Now imagine.
It's a good thing you don't have any of those metal chairs in here. It'll turn this shit into a TLC match.
Oh yeah, dude. See, this fucking bolt is like just out.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now we know. All right.
Ah, fuck it. Hopefully, I survived the episode.
You good.
If he dies, he dies.
But yeah, so
Onward.
I wouldn't say that like I don't know which one I prefer. I really like comic books and just nerdy shit generally. Are you like exclusively into DC or?
I wouldn't say exclusively because I have, unfortunately, seen every Marvel movie.
Why
I
do you
just
say unfortunately?
Uh-oh. He's
I'm-
going to open a can right
Here's
now.
the thing. I have no quarrel with Marvel. I have a quarrel with fans who diss DC Comics because they like Marvel.
Okay.
There
like
are
they're
two
choosing a
different
side.
kind of, like they're choosing a side. They are both equally just as good, and they are just equally as different as they are similar. The one thing that I don't understand is why Warner Brothers doesn't understand how different DC is than Marvel. And all they're trying to do is become Marvel. But they will never be Marvel because Marvel is, whether people like it or not, a bubblegum version of DC. It 100% is. It's like it's a poppy version of DC. It really is. I mean, if you read a DC comic and then go read a Marvel comic, obviously the newer Marvel comics are a little edgier. But at its core, DC's always been this brooding, heartfelt storytelling comic book company. And that's something that I've always appreciated about DC and why I was so upset with how the fans and how the studio treated Zack Snyder.
Who's Zack Snyder?
He was the guy who directed Dawn of the Dead, 300, Watchmen. Then he did Man of Steel, and Batman vs. Superman. And then got fired during Justice League because...
he didn't get fired. This is what I mean. This is what I mean.
He got fired because his
did
original
not get
cut of the
fired.
movie was 4 hours long and
No, he did not get
unwatchable.
okay.
And they
Hold
let
on.
him cover for it
Hang on
by
a second
saying
here.
his daughter died.
Hang on a second. All right.
Yeah, here, I knew something was going to go. Yeah.
There is a level of misinformation that people have gotten from this whole Snyder Cut thing. I've watched it very closely since even before the movie came out, and I was watching ever since the stuff was going on with Batman with Ben Affleck, who he's Batman to me. Ben Affleck will always be Batman to me, but that's just my personal preference. He's the best Batman, and it's a really damn shame that he's not Batman anymore. But when they were making Justice League way back in they started filming Justice League directly after, actually almost during the filming of Batman vs. Superman. It was originally supposed to be a 2-part film.
Yeah.
What happened was Warner Brothers wasn't particularly happy with the critic reaction, which is ridiculous. Nobody should care about what the critics say, especially for superhero films. Like, it's ridiculous. The fact that they leaned so hard on what the critics were saying was honestly, it shows so much weakness and so much lack of faith in the captain that they chose and they promised and signed contract for 5-movie plan. Basically, Zack Snyder's always wanted to make a Batman film, and ever since he made, he's been trying to get Warner Brothers to give him that ability. So obviously there was most likely a conversation where he's like, oh, I really want to make this movie. And they're like, well, you can make this movie. So they gave him, Watchmen. And then he's like, oh, well, I really want to make this movie. And they're like, all right, we'll start with Superman, see where you go from there. Because Chris Nolan is still finishing up his masterpiece. At that time, it was around the time where he was like, okay, I get to use Batman, so I'm going to write Batman vs. Superman. And then Chris Terrio sat down with the other guy, I can't remember his name, Groven, and they wrote Batman vs. Superman. Now, like it or not, Batman vs. Superman is a mixed bag. You either love it or you hate it. But the thing is, I don't really care about whether or not people like the movie. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But my biggest issue with this situation is that I myself, as an artist and a creator, can see where they completely fucked over Zack Snyder. And it's honestly disgusting. And the fact that he spent, because, the whole argument now is like, oh, the movie's not finished. But it frankly, if not done, it's about 99% done. The movie wrapped shooting in October of 2016. They did post-production, ADR, CG work, everything on that movie from October of 2016 all the way till March of 2017. That's a disgusting long time for post-production. That movie was finished. And not only that, but, he comes with the assembly cut, which was 5 hours long. Assembly cut is exactly that. It's always excessively long. It's when you make the decisions of what you're going to keep and what you're not going to keep, and they screen it. So when he made the decisions, and Warner Brothers made the decisions of what to keep and what not to keep, this was after they decided that it was just going to be one part. They sent him back to the drawing board to finish his film, and that's when everything was wrapped up by March of 2016. Obviously, behind the scenes, he brought it to them. They were once again like, oh, we're not happy with it. It's too dark. We want more jokes. We want Superman to be more optimistic and his hands on his hips and pointing fingers at people. And
yeah. But I mean, that's the whole point of Superman.
No. What Zack Snyder was trying to show people, and that's the biggest problem, is people never gave it the chance that they should have. We were only 2 Superman movies in. What you were watching there was the origin of him becoming Superman. He was never truly Superman yet. And that's how Zack Snyder wanted to do it. Warner Brothers claims to be a director-driven studio, yet they constantly fuck people over. This happened way back with the Richard Donner cut of Superman as well. They just fuck over their directors all the time. Not only to make matters worse, his daughter committed suicide, which is awful. So, the worst possible thing that could have happened to the fucking guy happens. And he's trying to focus himself and bury his head in his work so he can, cope with this thing. doing the one thing he loves, the one thing he's always wanted to do is make a fucking Justice League movie. And he's got a studio who's pulling shit out of it, just like they did with Batman vs. Superman. They tore that movie apart. They ripped out 30 minutes of very important information out of the cut that was released in theaters. 30 minutes of very vital information that makes the movie make sense. All the stuff with the government, all the stuff with Lex Luthor planning this and orchestrating this was not even in there.
I wouldn't say the footage that they added back in made it make sense.
It absolutely did. They cut out all of
it
the stuff.
It answered some
with,
questions, but it brought new questions. I'm just going to be straight up. I can't really speak in depth on it because I only saw the director's cut once, and I was like, I'll probably never see this again. I think a lot of what you're saying about Warner Brothers is definitely true, but I also think you're giving Zack Snyder way too much credit at the same time. Because it's not like he's Martin Scorsese or something.
No, he's not Martin Scorsese. But my point is, regardless of who you are, when you are a director and you are given your right and you sign the papers to make your movie and your vision the way it is, you should be granted that right in your film being released, at least a director's cut. Even if the film was something they didn't want to release in the theaters, whatever. They are the company that owns the characters. They get to make the decisions. Mm-hmm. However, you know, they should still, I mean, he's absolutely obligated to have his say in what he releases in his director's cut.
Yeah, but much like the music industry, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's
That's
like,
why people are rising up and trying to get it released, because everybody knows that he honestly deserves to have his film released. And we deserve as fans to see it and make up our own opinion. Whether or not it's shit, whether or not it's the best fucking superhero movie of all time, that should be up for us to make that decision.
Does this guy have enough pull? Like, I don't know anything about it, but does he have enough pull?
Isn't there still like $50 million worth of effects they need to finish it for it or something?
None of that is confirmed.
Okay.
Nobody knows, but
either way,
you know, people still say, "Oh, it doesn't exist." Yet Zack Snyder himself has literally said,
I never understood that. Clearly, it fucking exists because they had Joss Whedon reshoot an entire fucking movie that existed.
He reshot 80% of that film.
So I never understood. Like, there was just that story this week or end of last week. Like, Snyder confirms the physical existence of the Snyder Cut. Like, well, no shit, it existed. He made a fucking movie for 2 years.
Yeah,
like, yeah, it existed. I think it's probably. I think Batman vs Superman is one of the 5 worst movies I've ever seen.
That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I mean every word of it.
I've heard him say that.
I have a whole list of shit that just didn't even make sense. Like, why does Lex Luthor even need Senator Finch's approval to bring in the kryptonite if he was going to smuggle it in anyway? But that's a whole other fucking topic of discussion. But I think the Snyder Cut of Justice League is probably a fucking 3.5 hour mess. But he made the fucking movie. It's ridiculous that they had Joss Whedon reshoot.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I said, the opinion of whether or not you support Zack
No, I
Snyder's
agree with
filmmaking,
that.
I'm not giving him too much credit. He's a director who made a film, and that's the credit he's due. Release the fucking Snyder Cut.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like,
ridiculous. Because, like, it's not even like Joss Whedon went in and made, like, a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they put him in on short notice.
No, they
and
hired
he,
him
like,
because he made the Avengers. He's got to be able to do it.
yeah, they're like,
they're
do what
fucking
you
idiots.
did on Avengers, and like, so here's Henry Cavill's face with his mustache.
Oh my
computer
fucking God.
animated out.
Oh god.
Fucking his face looks fucked up through the whole movie. Like it, I thought Justice League it was fine. I didn't think it sucked or anything, but like,
I'm a Snyder fan, so obviously I need my movies that are Snyder to be a Snyder movie.
see, I don't need to see any Zack Snyder movies, but I do agree that Warner Brothers has no idea what the fuck they're doing. It's not hard. It shouldn't even be about like we're competing with Marvel and whatever. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are the 3 most famous fucking comic book characters ever, and then like Spider-Man. It's not fucking hard to make a fucking superhero movie. And like, I mean, I think Snyder fucked up huge with Superman. I thought Man of Steel was fine. I thought the second half was just too close to Transformers for my liking. But through the first half, I'm like, fuck, like he's doing it. Batman vs Superman, though, was just a joyless fucking slog. And I'm like, dude, when Superman dies at the end of that movie, I'm like, well, he seemed like a pretty sad fucking guy the whole time. So like, I'm not really sure. I don't really feel bad that he died because like, he didn't really enjoy being Superman.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I have like this different perspective on the movie because I've seen it so many times. And I will say that when I left the movie theater, when I first saw the film, I was absolutely like, what the fuck was that?
in a bad way.
In a bad way, absolutely. I was so upset.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is a film that I've grown to appreciate so much more over time. And the more I watch it, the more I see what he was doing and where he was going with the story. And that Superman wasn't Superman yet. It was almost like he had to truly give his life to become Superman. To convince the world that he was there to do good.
I get that, but at the same time, it didn't feel earned. Like his rise
No.
into becoming like Superman. Like it was just sort of like. I remember I described it. I wrote those blogs like way back when about like how I hated the movie. I'm like, by the time Batman vs Superman fights, like it's two mopey motherfuckers fighting. The Martha scene I think is enough to derail the entire movie. Like anything positive about that movie just doesn't matter.
Was I there? Did I see this with you?
I can't remember. I thought you were there the first night.
I think I did see it because Martha is the mom.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I saw it. I saw it. Yo, I go to these movies just because we have a small group of friends.
Yeah.
It's like 4 of us, and we're just as tight as it can get, really. And I pretty much go because they're all fans of this. I've never been a fan of superheroes ever. These are the only superheroes I believe in is the Ninja Turtles, and
The only superheroes I believe in.
They're real. They live under us.
Thank you. So I pretty much go to these movies and just so I can be included in the conversation.
Yep.
Like, dude, this will probably fire both of you guys up. I went and saw Venom with Joey and Drew. David wasn't there, right?
No. It was you, Amanda, Drew, Heather, and I. We like literally drove back up from.
Oh, that's
Uber.
right. Yeah, because I
We had
remember.
been in the city for 2 days. Then we were at her parents' place, and then we're like, "Fuck it." We told you we'll see Venom, and then we almost walked out. Then realized
Venom
there was,
fucking
half
pissed
hour.
me off so much because it started so fucking good. Like the first 45 minutes of that movie was actually pretty solid.
so
and then like I don't know what the fuck happens, but like there's another Venom, and then he's trying to save the world. I don't get that movie, dude. I don't understand why they try to make the bad guys the good guys. Like the same reason I don't understand why this fucking Birds of Prey movie is even existing.
Well, I don't even understand why they made the Joker movie. I haven't seen it yet, but
That's
I still want to
incredible.
see it.
It's
I still wanna see it
incredible.
pretty
yeah, I want to see it, but like at the same time, like I don't like movies about like the bad
villains.
guys being the heroes. Like the
Yeah.
whole fucking point is that Batman exists.
Well,
That's why-
you'll like Joker. You will like Joker, I promise you.
So-
Joker's a different. Like it took me by surprise. I thought it was going to be something, and it was not.
Oh, he was bitching about it.
I
for
thought it was going to be
weeks
the stupidest fucking
when they
thing I've
announced it.
ever seen. But I was like, oh, I guess I'll fucking go see this.
I've seen
And
a
I
lot of
left it
clips
like,
from it on
oh.
Twitter, like a lot of spoilery clips too, and like they've all made me laugh. I don't know if in the context of the film they'll work better, but
Probably.
from what I've seen, I'm like, this movie just looked like neckbeard as fuck, like for people who don't leave their basements, and like, so now I'm like, oh no, it's one of those.
I thought it was really good. Joaquin Phoenix's performance is enough to make the movie good. Like honestly, if
a lot of people say that.
the story was better, it could work without him. But it's one of those movies that if Joaquin Phoenix wasn't Joker, it
Yeah, it
would
would be
probably
shit.
suck. And that sucks, but that's true.
fair.
That's true.
Well, what I was saying was when I go to these movies with these guys, I kind of just watch it from like an outsider perspective. And I remember after we left that movie, you were like, "So Sean, what do you think about the movie?" Because I think it fucking sucked. I was like, "Oh, I thought it was pretty good." And then you and Drew started talking about like a dog or something, and I was like, "Wait, there was a dog?"
Oh, Venom?
Yeah, I fell asleep through it, and here I
my
am
God.
saying that the movie's really good. So then it made me realize that I didn't like that movie at all because I was asleep for most of it.
Yeah. That's the first time I almost ever walked out of a movie. I saw Batman vs Superman twice.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we almost walked out of Venom, but then we realized
Well,
like,
I knew that.
there was only a little bit left, so we were like, fuck, we gotta stay.
I really liked the beginning, like I said, like the first half hour, 45 minutes.
You're the only person
Yeah.
I've ever heard say that.
No, it started, honestly, when it started at first, I'm like, this is nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be.
That's what I was thinking.
Then I don't know what the time frame on that was, but as it went on, at some point I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta
Where's
go.
Venom? Because
Yeah,
that's what you guys
or just
kept-
where's the good movie?
it was like I don't know. It's too much audience pandering. They just wanted to see a cool looking Venom on screen, and then they were like, the story. Oh, right. We'll just put a rocket in here because this Venom wants to like launch it off into fucking Venom planet or some bullshit like
and
that.
And also Venom's like, I was a loser on my planet. Too.
I'm
like,
know,
what the
dude,
fuck, dude?
like,
I don't need Venom's backstory too.
I don't know.
Speaking of bad guys being bad guys, I think that's a topic of like movie discussions that nobody's really talking about lately. If you think about like John Wick, I like John Wick because he literally goes in and fucking kills hundreds of people nonstop. Like he's like the most badass bad guy there is.
But he's got a moral compass.
Does he?
He loves dogs and shit, dude. Like, it's not like a character like Venom or the Joker. Like, they're famous because of the hero that they face.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love Magneto, but like, I don't need a movie that's just like Magneto. Like, the whole point is like the Magneto versus the X-Men fucking thing.
Yeah.
You should have stopped it. Days of Future Past is what I think.
Yeah.
That movie was fucking epic. And then they're like, you guys want more? And we're like, no. And they're like, all right, he's 4 more.
Yeah.
We're like, why?
We just watched Dark Phoenix a month or two
Dude.
ago.
It's not as bad as they say, but it wasn't good.
I have no idea what the fuck it was even about. And like, I have a fucking X-Men tattoo. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My wife doesn't remember characters' names from episodes of shows to the next episode.
That's me.
I had to turn to her. I'm like, what the fuck's happening in this movie? Like, that's how dire it got. I had to ask her what's going on. She's like, I have no idea.
And you know what makes no fucking sense to me is like, if this is only taking place like what 10 years before the X-Men 1.
Yeah, then why do they?
The fuck are they so young?
Yeah, how did Michael Fassbender
sense
turn
at
into
all.
Gandalf in a few years?
I'm like, wait, what? Like, if they stopped at Days of Future Past, would have been perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Make
No
Logan,
questions
make
asked.
Deadpool, make Deadpool 2. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking. Why'd they have to make Apocalypse and Phoenix?
Yeah, and Apocalypse looked like fucking what's his face from the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Ivan
he
Ooze
fucking
or whatever.
Did you guys see the Power Ranger movie?
Oh, the new one from a few. Yeah, I saw that withdrew in theaters.
Did you like it?
I thought it was all right.
It was okay. Did you guys see it?
What?
I didn't.
The Power Ranger movies?
No.
Yeah, I think it was okay. I think they ruin movies like that though. Like, so when they did the Ninja Turtle reboot, I think they ruined that too.
Well,
I don't know if you guys saw.
Do
that.
they do like the origins of the turtles in the new ones too?
They change it every time. They remade the whole
this is that
story. They
shit.
didn't need to do that.
Batman Begins made a fuck ton of money and was successful, so they're like, and like Spider-Man shit, so they're like, we need to just do origins for everybody. And like, why can't there just be a fucking movie where like the turtles are the turtles? No questions.
Why don't
asked.
they bring back the live action?
Yeah,
Dude, thank you so fucking much for saying that because I swear to God, if I have to watch Batman's parents get shot in a fucking alleyway one more
it's
time.
ridiculous. But even Superman, like, I don't need to fucking. I don't want to know about Krypton. I
Dude.
know
Yeah.
it. Planet was
I
dying.
was happy with Man of Steel because I needed like a fucking. I don't ever want to see it now again.
Yeah.
But no one is gonna make Krypton look as fucking badass as Zack Snyder did.
No, Man
That
of Steel
shit
was fine.
looked fucking amazing.
I like Man of Steel. I thought was like maybe a little bit boring, and I thought like the fact Metropolis is a smoking crater at the end of the movie, and they had to like retcon like all the hard feelings about that into Batman v Superman. That part was a little ridiculous, but Man of Steel, I don't really.
Oh,
have.
but the opening scene of Batman vs Superman.
See, I hated it though because Bruce
hated it?
Bruce Wayne has no reason to show up in Metropolis. He literally just shows up there to be like. When the building falls, he's like, "Oh, the building's falling! Like shit's bad. You gotta get out of there." As they're all looking out the window and they see Metropolis blowing up, it's like, "Thank you for calling and taking a Jeep." Good sponsorship moment. Here's to come tell me.
Here's the thing. I
Like-
think you're smarter than that.
I am. That's why I hated the fucking
no,
movie.
You're fucking smarter than that. Come on. He went there. If there was an alien fucking invasion across the bay, wouldn't you, if you were a fucking rich guy with billions of dollars, wouldn't you fly over to check it out?
No, if I were
fucking
Batman, I'd show up as Batman. I'm not going to show up as Bruce Wayne on the phone to be like, things look bad. You guys need to evacuate. While the guy in front of me or talking to me on the phone is looking at the fucking death beam from the sky like,
Here's the thing.
is this bad?
I'm actually glad we're like talking about the opening scene here because I know that. All right, yeah, let's pretend Batman vs Superman wasn't what it was. Now,
You mean let's pretend
No,
Bruce
check
Wayne
this
doesn't
out.
open the metahuman
No, check
folder
this out.
last?
Oh fuck! I hate the metahuman folder stuff. It's like one of the brothers was like, "What about the Justice League?" And
You
he's
mean-
like,
you-
"Hold on."
You mean like he doesn't make a spear and hide it when he could have just made kryptonite bullets in the fucking gun and
That's
shot
true.
him immediately?
That's true. But hold on, check this out. So I have like this genius, and I've been like, as much as I love Batman vs Superman, as much as I love the Snyderverse, I am totally open for what like just some speculative thinking, and like the hypothetical thinking. So like I thought about this almost like a week after I saw Batman vs Superman. I was like, man, what if they just continued and they never made The Dark Knight Rises and they just stopped at The Dark Knight, right?
just had Christian Bale be
And
Batman.
Christian Bale, like, check this out. So they stopped at The Dark Knight and he goes into retirement just like The Dark Knight Returns. And instead of making Batman vs Superman first, you make The Dark Knight Returns. You like live adaptation to the mutant leader and all that shit. Part 1. You just call it The Dark Knight Returns, and then you do Batman vs Superman. So the Dark Knight Returns movie would end where this one begins. So you leave it off with a cliffhanger, like every fucking time, like real cliffhangers. I'm so mad that there's not cliffhangers in movies anymore. But like,
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, a lot of them. You're
Yeah.
right.
but
Now you
like
say
The
that, I
Force
never-
Awakens,
It's a
the Star
fucking-
Wars movie, ended on a literal cliffhanger.
Good.
And then when the
Thank
next
God.
movie opened, they were basically just like,
yeah,
who
fuck
cares?
your cliffhanger. No, but
so
fucking, I had this great idea. I was like, yo, if they did connect it though, can you imagine if like the Dark Knight Returns movie left off with like Batman at like his office in Gotham, right? And Lucius Fox was like over
In Metropolis.
in Metropolis showing like kids, like teenage kids, like check this out. I had it all fucking figured out. Like showing these teenage kids how to like maybe like they have like a foundation that gives kids jobs when
Yeah.
they get older. So like he's like giving a tour of the new Wayne Tower. And then at the very end you hear that fucking world engine sound from Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It's like wah, and then the movie ends.
See?
And then in fucking Man of Steel, and then in Batman vs Superman, you open it up with him fucking flying over there. And it's Christian Bale, and he goes over there, and then he's on the phone with Lucius Fox.
That
And
would've
Lucius
made more
Fox
sense.
fucking dies in that building, and that little girl that he saves from almost getting crushed is not just some random little girl. That little girl,
April
is-
O'Neil.
No, that little boy. It's a little boy, and that little boy's name is Terry McGinnis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Look at you plan the
I
seeds
know,
for the
and
franchise.
the fucking dude, the dude that he lifts that big thing
Yeah.
off of, that is John Corbin. Yeah.
Wow.
Who plays
And-
Shredder?
No, it's John Corbin. He's fucking Metallo, dude. And then instead of this bullshit
I'm linking
where
all these universes.
instead of this bullshit where Lex Luthor's like, I'm gonna make a Doomsday baby.
Yeah, instead he makes Thanos.
no, he makes Metallo.
Thank you for doing my job here.
No, but see, that
makes
shit with
Metallo.
Lucius Fox would have immediately made the movie better because there were real human stakes. And like,
Yeah, playing the scene for fucking Terry
see,
too, man.
the fucking shit that pissed me off was like Lex Luthor is sending Bruce Wayne these like notes like you let your family die or whatever the fuck, like in the building. So like, first of all, Batman's secret identity. I mean, we just talked about Nightfall before we recorded this. When he realizes Bane knows who he is, that like fucking shakes his reality because he's like, how the fuck did someone figure this out? In this movie, it's never like, holy Lex Luthor fucking knows who I am.
I know, he's
just sort of like,
that is true.
"Oh, I'm gonna do CrossFit to fight a guy who's invulnerable.
yeah.
Like it's fucking stupid.
It does have his issues, but like I said, I'm like super biased with Zack Snyder. I love everything he does.
I appreciate
But-
you being upfront about that, and I appreciate that the Snyder Cut conversation was not more contentious because I actually do agree that it's absolutely idiotic they fucking spent all this money on the
Yeah.
movie, and then they're like, no.
I just think they need to do right by Zack Snyder.
yeah, I mean,
it's not like a fuck you, Warner Brothers. Well, fuck you, Warner Brothers. But
Yeah.
So here's
but
the
it's
question:
not
do you
like-
think it's going to get released?
Absolutely. It absolutely will. Dude, Subway is tweeting
Subway
about
is
it.
tweeting.
Did you see this?
No, but-
Subway tweeted it. Subway tweeted it, and then Moe's chimed in, and they're like, "We stand in solidarity with Subway." Hashtag
So-
release the Snyder Cut.
I'm of two
I was
minds
like,
on it.
What?
If they really need to spend a fuck ton of money in finishing the special effects, then I don't know. If it is actually done, then I think they release it on HBO Max.
I
their
think
streaming
so
service.
too. I think it's done. If it's not done,
I think it's like almost
yeah,
done.
like
There's no
maybe
way
a
it's
couple
not.
scenes. Like they outsource to all different places to get the CG work done during the fucking like
Yeah.
the what are they called? Storyboards.
Yes.
They did them all during the storyboards. They were done. Like they were working on all.
Well, and
that
you
time.
see all these pictures he posts on social media and shit. Like the movie clearly
Aquaman
is,
and Atlantis. It's all done.
Yeah.
It's all done.
So I mean, I think this is all a fucking like bullshit hype machine to get people to subscribe to HBO Max.
I
Is
think
like
you're
my
right.
cynical mindset.
He was saying that.
I think you're right because I think there's no way they would let Gal Gadot tweet that.
Yeah, that's just it. Like,
There were no way she'd get in so much fucking trouble.
yeah,
And like I know Jason Momoa has seen this Snyder cut.
yeah.
So-
He says that it's sick, but like I don't know if it's sick, but like it has to exist. There's no
It's
way
got to be
doesn't
better
exist.
than the fucking bullshit they gave us in the theater.
Well, that's the thing. Like I
fucking
mean,
mustache gate. Dude, that's horrifying.
but then like so it also makes me wonder like how bad was the fucking Snyder cut?
It wasn't bad. I'm telling you, it's because, like Kevin Smith says, Warner Brothers is in a world that wants pop, and Zack Snyder wants to make metal.
That's true.
Zack Snyder wants to make metal, and that is exactly what that movie was. Dude, it was dark as fuck, dude. Cyborg's dad gets vaporized by a mother
Yeah.
box. Cyborg gets ripped in half at the very end. They all die, and Flash needs to travel back in time to save them. Dude, it's dark as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's epic.
If Batman vs Superman was any indication, this movie is probably zero fun.
Yeah.
I'll
Shouldn't
probably
be fucking fun. I don't
But,
want to
like,
see a
that's just
fun
it, but, like,
superhero movie. If I want to see a fun superhero movie, I'll go watch a Marvel movie.
But no, but that's just it. Like these characters, even though they're dark
Martin
themes and
Scorsese
shit,
called Marvel movies theme park films.
yeah, but like that's what all superhero movies are.
Yeah, I would not call Joker a theme park film.
Oh, that was.
I promise that is a very good film.
Well, but I mean, like, and like Logan too. But
Oh,
like,
exactly.
by and large, like,
I never saw that yet.
Superman is
yes,
a fucking theme
It's
park
disgustingly
character.
good.
Superman
Sad as
is
fuck.
all about truth, justice, the American way.
Yeah, but what
like-
about his origin? We've seen that before. You know, he really wanted to build on his origin because what he wanted was to make a Superman in a world that would challenge those ideas, that would ask the harsh questions of, do we fucking need this? And can we do anything about it even if we don't want it?
But
You
that's
know?
why like the comics are still so successful with Superman because like he's still that boy from Kansas who's like, yeah, like that plucky can-do attitude. And this like
Yeah, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie Superman. He's only been Superman for 18 months. Remember that?
yeah,
They
but,
show you
like-
that at the beginning of the movie. He's a baby Superman.
But like it's not fun at
It
all.
shouldn't be fun.
But like it's boring.
It's called
like,
Batman versus Superman: Dawn
But
of
that's just
Justice.
it. Like, why do? First of all, that title. I knew
title-
right away that
that-
movie was going to be fucking terrible.
That title is
They didn't
so
even need
cool.
They didn't
I
even
like
need
that
Batman
title.
v Superman. Just call it Batman/Superman. That's it. It's the two most famous comic book characters ever. You don't even need to fucking drop a trailer. Just be like, yeah, it's Batman Superman. So what about it?
And then like, bitch.
Yeah, and then you
Say
get like
bitch.
a good director,
Ugh.
and then they make a fucking awesome movie out of it. But like, I don't want to go see a 2-hour and 40-minute joyless slog about like,
Yeah.
you know, totalitarianism and like how grim society is. Like, I've already got to deal with the real world of like fucking
Facts.
kids in
But my
concentration
point is,
camps and shit
why'd
at
you
the
go
border.
see the film? Because they absolutely told you that that's what that movie would be.
I'm ride or die with
They
Batman.
told you watch the trailer again.
I know.
They showed you that that's what
Oh,
it
I
was,
said
man.
from the first trailer, I'm like, this shit's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, I
and
can
then I
back
saw
that
the
up.
movie, I was like, oh my
But
god,
here's the
it was
thing.
even worse than I thought.
Here's the thing, though. I think it's all about expectations. You know, people.
So I got
Okay.
exactly what I expected.
I think
expectations get destroyed.
I think movie trailers a lot more often than not now ruin movies. Dude, I swear on my
agree.
life, dude. Like you can get because they don't think that the user or I mean the viewer is going to catch on the fact that they just gave a major part away. But they do a lot to try to draw people in. But it always ends up being like an extreme letdown because that part that you saw in the trailer is like the big event that happens in the movie, and you're like, yeah, but like
Yeah, like Doomsday.
you just sucked
fuck is
sucked
that
me
about?
into
Yeah.
this,
Here you go.
and I already saw it.
Yeah.
That's why when we had the conversation about like the best horror movies, and I said "Don't Breathe,"
Oh, 'cause that shit
they
was not
never
in the
said
trailer
they
at all.
didn't show anything about
Yeah,
that
when you
whatsoever.
told me about that, I was like, whoa.
yeah,
that's
it's
out of
really
left field.
cool.
That was a good
Yo,
movie.
the trailer for I don't know if you've ever seen The Descent.
have not
I
seen it.
I saw it.
All right, well, the trailer for Descent, the very first trailer, they just made it look like people getting stuck down in catacombs.
Uh huh.
but you know that
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
is
yeah.
fucked up.
It's pretty cool. That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. No, Batman vs Superman. They're pretty upfront with like this movie's gonna be terrible. So.
Did they give a lot in the trailer
Oh,
that
they gave
was
away everything.
Yeah, everything.
really?
Wonder
yeah, see, that's what I'm
Woman.
talking about. I think that's stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
it was-
They gotta be
honestly, if they
careful.
never told me that Gal Gadot was in the movie and playing Wonder Woman, I never would have guessed that that's who that character was.
Yeah, well, and she wasn't even in that movie that much, so I'm like, why'd you have to give this away in the advertising? Because think of how much more
Right,
special
right.
that would have been if all of a sudden it's like,
And what's the
"Whoa!"
point with all the mysterious ambiguity in the film where she's all
Yeah.
like, who's this? Who is that? Who
Yeah,
are you?
I already
But,
know
like,
it's
I
Wonder
know.
Woman.
It's
I've
fucking
already seen
Wonder
her go
Woman.
like this in the fucking trailer.
Yeah,
It's like-
and I like saw the poster that Warner Brothers posted of her in the
With all
fucking
of them in-
costume. I was like,
Dead giveaway.
why would you do that?
no, I mean,
You know,
it's
I mean,
just-
that's not a testament to me not liking the film. I still do, but I do think that
But there's
that's
a fine
stupid
line.
to give away stuff in the trailer.
there's a fine line with like how grim those movies are, because like think about like Batman the animated series is probably the best adaptation
Epic.
of Batman.
I still, dude, like, fuck,
And, like-
when it comes to that shit, fuck Zack Snyder. Like,
yeah, but like you think like those are pretty like grim, dark themes for a kids' cartoon.
Yeah, they are.
Like if like there's no way that shit would fly for children today because they'd be like that's way too dark for them.
Right.
So they're able to communicate these dark themes to children in the '90s, but yet also have moments of levity. And like the Snyder films, there's no fucking levity. There is just punishment.
I mean,
the world
Jesse
is fucking
Eisenberg's
pain.
quite laughable, isn't he?
I don't think that was the intention, but he was laughable.
Who is that? Is that the Facebook guy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I-
he played Lex Luthor.
Honestly, I think what I think happened.
Oh, boy.
I think they said, "Hey, why don't we get that Heisenberg guy? Get the Heisenberg."
No, then it would have been good. Then it would have been great.
They were like, "Oh,
yeah, you
I
did.
fucking said I want my pen name to be Jesse
Right?
Heisenberg.
No, but I think they were like when they were at the casting table, they're like, "Get Heisenberg," and then they misheard
Yeah.
him, and they're like, "All right," and then they're like, "All right, we got him, Heisenberg," and they're like, "No, that's Jesse Eisenberg." Oh shit, he already signed.
Yeah, what's the difference?
So
Are you
Guess
big
he's
into
gotta
any
do it.
series?
I just finished Breaking Bad.
That's my favorite
Like
of
you
all
just
time.
That is
Yeah.
my favorite show of all
Yeah, yeah.
time. I just finished
Like
it.
for the first
for
time?
the very first
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I've seen it 5
Everyone's so
times
jealous.
through.
Jesus.
Everyone's like, I wish I could watch it for the first time again.
Do you have a favorite series?
I mean, Breaking Bad was pretty good.
It's so
That's
good.
just- it's
So,
hard to
dude,
beat.
you put me on again. He puts me onto a lot of stuff because I value his opinion on a lot of stuff. Like we always share music, movies, and a lot of times we agree, which is very weird because we're both like people that we're kind of stubborn in the way that like if I'm right, no, I'm right, you're wrong. It doesn't matter. Like that's just my personal. He's like that too sometimes. But so it's weird that we always generally have the same idea of certain things. But he told me I got to watch The Sopranos. Started watching it. 11 episodes in,
Okay.
slowly turning into my favorite show, dude.
Doesn't like every episode just cut to black in the middle of a sentence? Isn't that show?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about
think
that.
so.
I don't think
No?
so. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
If so, I'm not at that part
Yeah.
yet.
no, maybe it does. I don't know.
But
I
I
only
love it
made
a
it
lot.
4 episodes into the 3rd season. My brother had it all on DVD. Then he moved in with his girlfriend, now wife,
Yeah.
years ago. And I've just never watched it on HBO Go or Prime or anything since then. But one day I'd like to start it over and finish it.
I'm enjoying it a lot. The mozzarella.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I
yeah.
used to just get fucking pounds of Capicola and eat it right out of the fridge. Be like, get the Capicola.
Were you guys into Game of Thrones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not at all. I
fucking
watched the
hated
first
the
3
last
and I didn't
season
like
so
it.
much.
It was so rushed.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to
it-
create
it
a
was-
cooking show called Game of Scones.
It was the Joss Whedon Justice League of
Justice
television.
League.
Yeah.
You must.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
will correct you on that.
And like that shit was awesome because HBO's like, we will pay you whatever it takes to keep this show going, to do it right. And they're like, no.
No.
We can finish it in one more season. We got it.
Oh,
And that's fucking
Jesus.
terrible. And
Yeah.
it's like, then they lost the fucking Star Wars gig because of it too.
Yeah.
And their Netflix show is probably going to be fucking terrible.
The Mandalorian, because he's big into that.
I'm not huge. I'm more of a Star Trek fan than I am Star Wars.
Okay.
I
fuck
don't
with it.
think I can. It's not that I don't like one or the other. I've seen like Rogue One, and I've seen the prequels. I've seen a little bit of the old ones, and I saw The Force Awakens. And that's it.
Probably Star Wars. I mean,
Have you started The Mandalorian?
no.
Me either, but I'm going to because I wanted to start The Sopranos first because of Mob
You
Life.
probably won't have like a good frame of reference for a lot of things in Mandalorian.
Wait,
just 'cause there's,
should
like,
I see the? I don't mind watching the movies. I'm just not
honestly,
hype on them.
I'm not an easy person to ask because I mean you fucking
Yeah.
like I'm deep in it, so like And even Heather had seen the prequels and the originals multiple times.
And what'd she
before
think
we were
about
together. Oh, she loves The Mandalorian. All she talks about every week is like how she can't wait till
I
the
just
new
see
episode
Baby
comes out.
Yoda all over the.
Oh yeah, Baby
Oh, my
Yoda's a
God.
legend. I mean,
All right,
Immediate.
I got to get on that, but I'm gonna finish The Sopranos first.
you should.
Yeah,
And-
it's sweet. It's so good.
It's fucking awesome.
It's a badass. show.
My uncle, my dad's brother, who like he was at the wedding and shit.
Yeah.
When he started watching it, he bought a bunch of fucking tracksuits so he could dress like Polly Walnuts all the time. but what do you think about the original Star Trek?
One thing I have not actually watched
Is the original
Star Trek. However, I do know that the movies I've seen, like the old movies and the new movies.
Yeah.
And I know they're all connected, which is so sick.
Yeah, so I've seen the old movies, and then I tried to go back and watch the old series, but Drew, I wish he were here to talk about this. I feel like he's very much of the mindset that like anything before like 1985 just like is too hard to watch. And I feel like he feels that way a lot about like movies and shit. Like older movies are just terrible. And
he's
he
got a
said
weird
that on
taste,
this
let's be
podcast.
Oh my god.
He's
But,
got a weird taste.
Some things I do think are really hard to watch, and the original Star Trek is one of them because like the compact disc wasn't even created.
Oh, Lord.
So like it's hard to see all this futuristic technology. And it's like they've got like little wooden blocks that they're inserting into slots on a computer to be like, oh yes, we have this data. And I'm like, it's like
You
little
mean a
things
flash
Like,
drive?
yeah, it's like little things like that. So it's very 1960s.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Jeez.
I attempted to go back and watch it all a couple years ago, and I was like, nah. What my nephew just started kindergarten this year, and my vow was I was going to finish the original Star Trek before he started kindergarten. That was when he was like 2. So
One of my big goals is when Clayton, he's my nephew. You know that, but Austin doesn't know that.
Yeah.
When he's old enough to like appreciate movies.
yeah, you're gonna show him Saw.
all right, this guy chops his foot off.
Yeah. No, I want to be the guy to introduce him to the Ninja Turtles
Yeah, that'd be
majorly.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big about that. The speaking of the Saw movies, so my research paper that I was telling you I was writing, my topic is violence in video games, and I finally have like a real strong opinion on it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I don't think that. Here's the thing. I don't think that violence in video games makes somebody violent. I do think it triggers their mind to be it desensitizes
Right.
them to violence, though. So like, because what happens is you see violence over and over and over and over and over again, that you become accustomed to it and you don't care anymore. So
Right.
now you see it in real life and you're like, oh, this is just like in the game. I can just keep going on with my life after I fucking murder this. I do think that, but I think at the end of the day, if you're going to murder somebody, you were already going to murder somebody, whether you played a game or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm writing about right now, and I just
agree
wanted to
with
say,
I
it. Do you?
100%
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah. I do think it does desensitize people, though, because I can say this. When I was younger, David and I used to look at Rotten.com.
Thank you for mentioning something that wasn't video games, because I was gonna say it's not just video games
Yeah.
that does it. It's shit like that
The
you find
interwebs.
online.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
You ever
was
heard
that?
of Rotten.com?
Yeah, I'm never going there again.
How old are you? Are you
23.
okay?
Oh my god, we're with a bunch
20.
of babies.
You're 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Isn't that he's super mature for his age,
Oh,
though.
well,
like
you're older than me, so you're the
Oh yeah, I used to think I was like the young guy, but you're
Yeah, you got almost 2
2
full
months.
on me.
Yeah. But anyway, so hey, don't fucking shake your head over there too, man. Okay, we're not your grandfather, all right? We're friends now, all right?
All right, Dad.
So, so now I forget what I was even getting.
Desensitized.
No, you were talking about Rotten.com.
Rotten.
Watching
Oh, Rotten,
fucking
that's
people
right.
getting hit with shotguns. This is like the second straight time we've talked about
so
Rotten.
that shit used to bother me. Like when I first saw that, Dave and I would be like, "Oh my god, that's so gross! I can't believe that happened."
Yeah, I don't like it.
Dude, now I've seen it so much that honestly, a dead body doesn't faze me one bit whatsoever. I'm like, I've literally seen the worst of the worst, like real photos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, it's not even shit like that, though. But you think of like the Syrian refugees. Like, there's that photo of the boy who fucking washed up dead on that beach. It was literally just like a dead little kid just fucking on a beach somewhere. And like shit like that. Because I had a conversation with my father-in-law, and he was talking about how video games like corrupt your mind, basically. I'm like, no, because you think about it, like, we've been in the fucking Middle East at war forever. Like, one of my earliest memories, aside, like, of like real life violence, aside from people jumping out of the fucking Twin Towers to
Yeah,
avoid like dying
yeah.
and them collapsing was the shock and awe bombing in Afghanistan,
Yeah, sure.
where we literally just fucking bombed the fuck out of them for like hours or days straight. Like, shit's brutal. Like, you grow up with war and shit on TV. Like, it's not just fucking Call of Duty that desensitizes you. Like, the news is always about violence.
Yeah, it's also Medal of Honor. And
Yeah.
So the
I didn't have my papers on the fucking
GTA
German train.
doesn't.
I got shot.
the other thing is like sex and violence
Are awesome.
Well, yeah, especially
It's
at
like
the same
MTV.
time.
All you ever see is sex.
You ever kill somebody and rape them? So then we're
Oh God.
so anyway, it sells, and like that's the marketing scheme
Yeah.
that a lot of people are taking now on television. And one of the studies shows that like before a child turns 18, they have seen 200,000 murders.
Whoa.
How
Whoa.
insane is that?
also fake?
No, wait. Oh, you mean like fake
Is
murders?
it fake and real
Yeah.
combined?
So, all right. So here's the thing: when we talk about stats on this, we all have this conversation many times. Basically, every fucking study can prove anything you want.
Yeah.
So if his goal was to prove that whoever took that study was to prove that we're going to see over 100,000, he can prove it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can prove whatever the hell he wants. But anyway, yeah, that was one of the studies, and it's just crazy because you really do. You got to think, like, even in cartoons, people get killed off sometimes.
Well, even we were talking about wrestling. Undertaker got murdered like 30 times.
there you go.
Like,
No, that's true, though. That's like a real thing because
yeah.
how many kids watch wrestling?
Yeah, and then try to do some backyard wrestling
right.
shit. Like
EWE.
somebody breaks their
Hey,
neck or something.
you said,
Ew.
oh my God, you fucking brought up Batman animated series. I can't
Yeah.
believe I never brought this up. Do you remember the episode where Captain Clown, where Joker sticks Batman in a
Yeah.
barrel and then he stabs
Yes.
holes
Oh
in
my
it?
God.
Okay, well, I have a scar
Oh my God.
here on my head.
You tried to stab yourself in the head?
So no, I didn't try to stab myself.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
My brother tried to murder me. So we were watching it. My dad was still asleep, and we were like, "Hey, Dad, can we watch Batman?" He was like, "Yeah, I'll be up in a little bit. I'll be up in a
Kenny's
little
got
bit."
a knife and he's
So,
chasing me around the house.
So me and my brother Nick walk out to the living room. We put on Batman, and he would tape it all every night because it played at night. So we would put in his new tape, and then we'd watch it. So the episode that came on was the episode with Captain Clown, and he stuffs Batman into a barrel, and then he's like, "Let's punch him some air holes," and then he like stabs some holes in it. And then he's like, and Batman's in the barrel, but he's like Batman, so he's like dodging all the knives.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
my brother and I were like, "Yo, let's
No.
fucking do that." And we got,
See how happy he just got? Yo, dude, let's fucking
fucking
do it.
yeah,
dude.
seriously.
Why not?
And I'm 5 years old. My brother's 6, and we walk into the room because we had just moved in, and we grabbed this big old box, and I was like, "I'm getting in the box. Go get a knife." And my brother gets a knife.
This is
I
such
think
a
he
bad
got
idea.
one stab through, and it went right into my head.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And then I was like, ah! My dad runs out. I'm bleeding to death
From the fucking
kitchen. On the fucking
He comes out. No, Dad, I swear I'm fine.
yeah,
knife's
I
still
was
in his
like, yeah,
I'm
dude.
good, I'm good.
Fucking, and then they have to take me to the hospital. Fucking 5 staples in my skull.
Oh, wow.
I have a scar in
Yeah.
the same spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it from your brother?
rock
No.
bottom.
No, my cousin pushed me off of a playground.
One time in fucking like 2011, 2012, when I started watching wrestling again, I got Jeff fucking hooked on it too. I don't know why, but he was just into it. And fucking Connor Devine was over at his house once. And we're in Jeff's brother George's bedroom. And George was like out of town on like a fucking high school baseball trip or something. And Jeff fucking picks Connor up and gives him the rock bottom on the bed, and it fucking collapses the whole bed.
Oh my god.
So they pick up the bed and like fucking like lean it all back together. And George comes home that night and he goes into his room and sits on his bed. The whole bed collapses. And George is like, "What the fuck happened to my bed?" So then Jeff, in his 20s, getting screamed at in the kitchen by his father for breaking a fucking bed doing a wrestling move.
Well, that kind of happened to me too.
Were you in your 20s or was this?
Yeah, it was when Party was when Party was living with me, and I'm pretty sure. The thing is, I don't remember if it was Josh or David, but I think it was Dave. Dave and him got in a fight, and I broke it up, and I picked Ryan up, and I wasn't gonna throw him on the ground, and I threw him on the bed The whole thing fucking snapped. Not only did Dave and Twardy throw each other through my bedroom door, so we had to go buy a door.
Were they actually fighting?
Yeah. Before my parents were out of town, so Dave basically lived at my house, but we had this other kid that did actually live at my house.
Right.
So we had to go replace the door, and we tried to fucking paint it and everything like that. My dad came home to a door missing off my bedroom in the new house too, so it was that one, and my bed being broken, and I had to explain it by saying there was a fight. You know how awkward and tough that is? Because now my mom, she starts crying. Yeah. I left for 2 days and I can't even leave you guys. You know what I mean? It was one of those situations.
Yeah. That's how she sounds.
I left for 2 days. She was like fucking Adam Sandler. I left for 2 days.
That's actually a really good Adam Sandler. I don't like him that much.
No,
I
fucking love Adam Sandler.
You're looking at me crazy. Do you like him?
I haven't seen. Probably the most recent Adam Sandler movie I've seen was 50 First Dates.
I think the newer ones he's better because he plays a little more serious, and I like that. I think
Uncut Gems looks fucking great.
Yeah, it does actually. It really does.
Great.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like his classics. They're not really that cool to me. Big Daddy was all right. I like that one because I thought.
What about The Wedding Singer, man?
It was okay.
Wedding Singer.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore is that's the one I was going to say is the one that I really like.
Have you seen Shooter McGavin? No. Why? I just need to beat the piss out of him.
Somebody I follow on Instagram, I think it's somebody we went to high school with, took a picture with Shooter McGavin. I have to find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But God. Yeah, he was like at some bar.
Gold jacket,
like
green jacket. Who gives a shit?
Put you on the spot, Austin. You mentioned he did a good Adam Sandler. This guy.
I can do SpongeBob.
This guy does crazy impressions.
Wait, hold on a minute. I can also do Plankton.
All right, let's hear it.
The secret Krabby Patty formula is mine.
What the fuck, dude?
Eugene Krabs.
Dude, are you a big SpongeBob fan?
Yeah.
SpongeBob for life, bro.
SpongeBob's pretty cool. I think like now that I'm older, I appreciate it more because the comedy is definitely aimed towards adult.
Oh yeah.
Totally aimed towards adults.
I like when they swear. They sound like dolphins and shit. Like when they learn the swear words and like they're like,
yeah.
Do you guys get into cartoons at all?
Like which ones? Like I was into like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, Courage was my shit.
Yo, the fucking cat. The Cat's Motel. I like that. That's the first episode.
Hey, speaking of cats,
what?
Did you see the trailer to Cats?
Oh my god, dude!
Thank you, dude.
Fuck that.
People
movie.
agree.
Fuck that movie.
That shit looks
Give me
so
a warhead.
weird.
Oh my
I'm
god,
out.
you ate all those?
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Oh, there's mad of them in the fucking
Are there other
bin.
stuff other than warheads?
Oh yeah, there's mad candy other than warheads in there, and there's chocolate over. There's chocolate over on the table. If there's not enough in there.
Fuck cats.
Yeah, dude. It looks A, really creepy, and B, just looks bad in general.
Yo, are these the fucking cigarettes?
Yeah, the little candy stick things. Yeah, help yourself. They're Batman, Superman ones there. It's more riveting dialogue between the two boxes than there was in the movie.
Oh wow.
I ask about the.
Oh look, this one says Martha.
I ask about the cartoons.
Why did you say that name?
No, that's actually a very touching moment, and I hate that people shit on that. It's not because
Oh, he's getting mad. He's getting mad.
It's not because their fucking moms have the same name. How does that mean and go over everybody
No,
else's
it's because
head?
it shows Superman's a human. Like,
No.
he has humanity. Like
It shows that Batman is realizing that he is putting this man through the same torture that he was put through as he was a child. He is now
Yeah.
Joe Chill.
when
holding
I'm
that
near
weapon
death,
about-
I'm not gonna be like somebody tell Jill. I'm gonna be like somebody tell my mom.
Wait, your mom's name is Jill?
Yeah.
My mom's name is Jill.
Hey!
Why did you say
Why did you say that
Oh, wait, hold on a minute. I think I hate Zack Snyder now, too. You're right. You know what? We can hate Zack Snyder together. We got the same mom.
I didn't like that movie long before that scene, but like I don't know if you remember this. The fucking theater burst out laughing when that shit happened.
You guys are fucked.
I remember
It wasn't even just me. I was like, from the opening dream sequence where the bats lift him to the heavens, I was like, this is going to be a long fucking night.
Yeah.
Then by the time the Martha scene happened, it was not just like our group. Other people in the theater started fucking cracking up.
Yeah.
I was like,
No, honestly, I understood what that meant. It was for Batman. That was Batman.
I
That's why it
understood
showed
what
Batman,
Zack Snyder
man.
wanted it to mean, but it ain't good.
I agree that
If this
they
is
could
how
have gone
Martin
in a different
Scorsese feels
direction.
about Marvel, wait till he sees Batman versus Superman.
Honestly,
there
I
are
don't understand
lollipops
why,
in there?
Yeah, dude. I
Oh
don't
my
understand.
God.
Why didn't they just make them stop fighting?
Warhead lollipops.
Holy shit.
Yo, wait, is that what this is?
Yeah, Austin's just discovering new candy in my house I didn't know I had.
I'm glad you still had it. On
Is
my
your
way
mom's
here, I was like,
name
oh, I hope-
really Jill?
Yes.
That's fucking hilarious.
Dude, his-
My mom's name is Jill.
The crazier part, his dad is
and now it's crazy because now we agree on
Now we
Batman versus
agree on
Superman.
now we agree on Batman versus Superman. Yeah.
his dad is Jack. How nutty is that? Jack
that's
and
not
Jill
true.
went up a hill and
not
made Joe.
That's not. Wait,
Not
what is
true.
your dad's name?
Jim.
Oh,
And
if
my
you said
brother is
Matt, I was
Jim.
about to be like, what the fuck?
No. All J names. My mom is one of 8. Jill, Judy, Jen, Joanne, Johnny,
Jane, Judy,
Jim,
Den.
Joe,
I don't know if you've ever said that to me
Jeffrey.
before.
Yeah, 8 of them, all with J names, and my grandparents were Jim and Jeanette.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's kind of cool when families do that. I guess.
It's a little cringy.
I guess.
Nobody said anything, so
My
it made me
cousins' name are Josh,
re-question it.
Joe, and Jordan, so it's coming. It's coming.
That's interesting.
Yeah, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His
Wow.
name's my name too.
Dude, names really took a huge turn. Like most.
Khaleesi.
Yeah. Dude, I like her.
I like her face
Yeah, she's
and everything else about her.
Yeah.
I think she's more attractive outside of Game of Thrones, but
So do I.
Yeah.
You also said this before that you think. Wait, was it her that you said was too young to be naked on?
no.
Who was that?
Oh,
Who
that
are you
was,
talking about?
have
Arya.
Oh my
The
god,
fucking-
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
and everybody's like, she's of legal age. It was a consensual
Is she?
scene. It was magical. Yeah, but I'm like, either way, like I've seen her as a child, and like I don't need to
It's
get
weird.
all. Yeah, it's too weird, and that's not like disrespectful to like women's place in storytelling. Like if I saw fucking Bran fuck Khaleesi or something, like I would have been like, okay, I saw
Weird.
Bran when he was a little boy. I
Yeah.
don't need to like. I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
I don't know. I never got into that. I did try Game of Thrones. It's not my style. I like the new school stuff, like newer, like realistic.
I don't
stuff.
usually like medieval things, but I really like Lord of the Rings, and I got into Game of Thrones.
I will give Game of Thrones a shot again. Justin gave me his whole first season, and it's. I put it in, and Amanda was like, "This is stupid."
That's how it started. I borrowed the first season from them. I wasn't crazy about it, but by the end of it, I was like, I need every season you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were out of town, and they're like, you can come feed our cat and just take the next 2 seasons on Blu-ray. I'm
He's
like,
so
"Yeah."
cool, man. I love when friends are just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I buy something, there's no reason why you guys can't use it. You know what I mean? Like when I wanted to buy which I still want, the arcade. Joey was because my apartment's packed already. Like we have so much stuff in there. I said I wanted this arcade game, and Joey was like, well, yeah, you could keep it here if you want. Like I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
When did you get into Game of Thrones? Like from the start, or was it way later?
No, it was way later. I like started watching it, and then I didn't finish the first season. Kind of gave up on it, and then I just kind of started it again.
I got 3 seasons in, and then decided it wasn't for me.
Oh, dang.
Did
Wait,
you
I
watch,
saw
like,
the Red Wedding.
Oh, you saw the Red
I saw
Wedding. Oh,
that. That's literally the last thing I saw. I thought that was super sick. I started I think it's season 4, right?
Yeah.
I started that and I was like, I can't watch this because I'm watching Breaking Bad
Oh,
and
that's too
and
much
The
at
Walking
once.
Dead
Yeah.
at the same exact time.
Yeah.
So I'm balancing 3 series. And Sons of Anarchy. I was watching them all because they were all on Netflix at the same time.
It sounded like you were about to say Sons of Archery.
Did you finish Sons of Anarchy?
I gave up on it because it got way too corny.
Yeah.
It got way too overboard. Like blowing up freaking warehouses and stuff. Like gangs don't really do that.
That show started out on pace to be like fucking
Cool as
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
The Shield, not fucking Marvel Agents of Shield. The Shield, the show about the dirty
wrestling?
fucking
Oh.
cop. Yeah, wrestling. Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. No, The Shield is about a dirty cop, like a Walter White type character.
Oh,
almost.
okay.
That's my fucking that and The Wire are my top 2 shows like ever. But The Shield is probably, especially as time passes, all I can think about is how the fucking damn The Shield is sick.
What are your top 3? We'll go around the table.
It's probably recency bias right now, but I would put The Americans up there because I thoroughly enjoyed
Okay.
it. I didn't put it that high right after we finished it, but now as I've been thinking about it, I'm like, fuck. The Shield and The Wire.
Probably say Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and Walking Dead
Meh.
is a
Do
little.
you still watch it?
No,
In the beginning, it was cool as fuck.
Stopped at season 4.
After Rick,
Same.
Wow.
After the governor died, I was like, I have no more reason to watch you.
Yeah.
I started reading the comics. I knew Negan was awesome. So then once Negan showed up, I made it like 14 episodes into whatever fucking season I stopped, 7 maybe, and then I never even watched the season finale. I saw the previously on in
I saw the
finale.
Glenn Brain episode.
Yeah.
I was like, blah!
that was
Yeah.
disgusting.
What about you?
Batman the Animated Series.
That's one. That's number one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, I would say Bruce Timm's animated series. That includes Static Shock, Justice League, Batman Beyond.
Okay, so all of the whatever he writes and does.
Every single thing Bruce Timm does.
It's so funny to me that you like the Snyder movies so much because I'm like, those cartoons, they're not like the Marvel movies, but like they handle adult themes and shit in a way that like general audiences can enjoy. And Zack Snyder, I feel like, is too much. But like the Justice League cartoon, fuck. Like the
It's
Batman
fucking
Superman
good.
cartoon movie from fucking the 90s.
Dude.
That's just the best.
The fucking scene where he looks through his mask and he's like, you peeked. And then later he's sitting outside his fucking thing. He's like, hey, what's up, bitch?
The only reason I know like what Jade is as a fucking substance in the world is because the fucking kryptonite dragon that they think is Jade because of that movie. Like that's what I learned from.
I would probably say Breaking Bad's number 2. And then,
Your voice is super seductive right now. It's weird.
Thank you. And then I'd say Daredevil.
Oh wow. He
Daredevil
likes
Fox.
Daredevil. I watched a couple of them.
Oh, I actually like Black Mirror. Black Mirror.
Everybody
good
tells
things
me
about that. Yeah.
Sick.
I have yet to see it.
It's awesome.
I'm not a huge fan
They-
of skit shows, but if we are going to make some skit shows, they should turn Creep Show into a TV show.
What's Creep Show?
You never read Creep Show?
No.
Oh, fuck. It's so good. There's this, it's like this old-ass fucking movie.
Is it supposed to be like a horror
book.
thriller thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I'll
like
probably
little
like
skits,
it. Yeah.
but like, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I would have to say, obviously, Breaking Bad. I know for sure my answers are going to change when I leave here. I know
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head right now, I got Breaking Bad, How to Get Away with Murder, which I don't know if any of you guys watch that, but I love it. It's
think
crazy.
I
I love that
saw
because
it.
it's a friggin' ABC show.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
a
it's
few.
an ABC show. And usually they're like the typical ABC shows, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I like that a lot. And I really wait, do game shows count in this?
It can if
Sure.
you want. You're
The
one who
challenge.
posed the
I like
question.
MTV's The Challenge. It's like my favorite show of all time.
I thought you were gonna say The Good Doctor.
No, I would say that. It's in my top 5, but Revenge is also up there. I don't know if anybody's seen Revenge.
You're like, we talked about this last time we talked about shows, I think, but somebody else recently told me about Revenge.
It's super cool. It's a cool show.
There's this really funny fucking part of Metallica's album Hardwired to Self-Destruct in the song Here Comes Revenge. And it's a super Lars is a fucking idiot. It's like the snare. I love Metallica, but wow, this fill is dumb. So literally it's snare. Here comes revenge right before the chorus. It goes Here comes revenge.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's beat, dude.
Nah, that album was fire.
It was
I
fire.
fucking that came out like the week I quit my old job.
Yeah.
So like I literally fucking turned in my letter of resignation. Then when I got in my car to fucking go home, I just turned on Hardwired. I was like, fuck.
Dude, I fucking love Hardwired to Self-Destruct, but that drum fill is dumb.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yikes.
All right, boys. Well, we gotta wrap this one up here. I just want to say thank you guys for coming to Can We Go Downstairs?
Thanks for having us.
You guys want to plug again? Plug yourselves real quick one more time, and make sure the listeners check you guys out.
Sure, we're on Spotify, Apple Music. Our Instagram's Broken View Official. Follow us, stream our music. We got a music video coming out on the 22nd. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
The Fall and All I Feel Is You are on our YouTube currently.
Please check it out. Seriously, it will impress everybody that watches it because just think about the fact that it was filmed on an iPhone. That blows my mind. Honestly, it blows my mind.
When Sean first sent it to me, I'm like, wow, this is professional as fuck. And I was like, yeah, this was on an iPhone. I was like, damn.
We actually got reached out today from somebody who was like, who did your music video? We were like, we did.
We did, motherfucker.
On our iPhone. And she was like,
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I was,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
Say
I was
it
gonna
now.
say my brother actually did all of like the band shots and stuff, and he's actually really good behind the camera. So
There you go.
credit
Nick.
to him, and credit to everybody who's helped us out with the video.
Thank you, Nick,
very
for
much.
not killing Austin when you were 5
Yeah,
years
thank
old.
you. Because then you know I
Thank you
wouldn't
for
be able
going
to
for the
make
skull, not the
mediocre.
Wasn't it like an inch away from like killing you?
It was like half an inch away from.
Oh,
his
is that
skull.
serious, huh?
Yeah, it was
Damn.
pretty bad. But you know, things happen.
Yeah.
And Batman is violent.
All right, squeeps up, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode, and be sure to check out The Broken View. Take it easy.
Deuces.